So here we are, episode 48. Hey guys, thanks for joining in. Thanks for just checking the earplugs. Actually, you know what? I've noticed that Jody pointed out too that do this thing where I play with my ears and that, so I'll try not to do that tonight. I don't know. It must be like a nervous thing or something. Anyway, how are we all? Good to have you on board. Episode 48, as I said, Wednesday night. It's going to be, here we go. We got a few coming in. Mum's on. Hey, Mum, how are you? Good morning from Gareth Brody. Yeah, we talked about this guy. But yeah, good on you. Hey, no, good to have you all on. Got a good show on tonight. I got Gareth and Brody Davies from Davies Racing, so we'll get them on. And I got Adrian Brown, and I spoke to. We just done a trial run with everyone just before the show, and everything worked fine. Beautiful. So there you go. Morning, Mick. Steve Dangamai, hey brother, thank you, mate, for the weekend. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. So. Speaking of the weekend, coming off a good weekend, actually, my first gig for the, since my unretirement, I'm calling it. So I did Queensland No Prep Series down at Lakeside Park, on the north side of Brisbane. So for those of you who don't know, Lakeside, well, before Queensland Raceway was there was Lakeside Park on the north side. I think it's Kawong I think they call it Kawong Bar. And that's where the touring cars ran and that. And I remember as a young tacker going there for a thing. Believe it or not, I was on the Dick Johnson Pen Club, and I went there for something there. So, and then I've probably only been there one or two times. I know for a fact I went there when the late great Kerry Digney had an event there, and he said, "Come and have a watch." And I went along and tagged along with Kerry for the day. So. There you go. Chris Fry, good to have you on, mate. Scooter, hello, champion. And Reese Northfield. Hey, Reese, I reckon you needed that car before, but now you've done it. You put yourself in the poop there. Reese Northfield, mate. He did the AI thing on his Altered, on his supercharged Altered. Did what's it look like in carbon fibre, and it looked pretty bloody good. So anyway, that's something you're going to have to sort out, mate. All right. So the Queensland No Prep Series on the weekend. Congrats to all the winners. The 6 classes in the no prep thing. First time I've sort of done. I mean, I've done similar sort of things. A Power Cruise a few years ago with that off street sort of racing, but on the front straight there, Lakeside, no timers or anything. Just racing down the front straight on a no prep surface, and there was some seriously. Actually, I was impressed. There was some really cool cars there. Lots of toughies there. There was some really quick cars there. Like the Pro Street Blown was the top class, the outlaw class, I guess, to some degree. And some of the cars at that, serious bits of gear. Like, I mean, I don't know. When you've seen enough racing over the years, that you sort of get an idea of what a car runs. And that if there wasn't some 7-second cars there on the weekend, I'll eat my hat, So anyway, pretty cool. Not bad at all. So it was round 1 of 5 for the year, Queensland No Prep Series, run by Addictive Event, Mick and Jane Apps. I think it went pretty good for the first time out. And another 4 events. The next one's on May 3rd, so looking forward to that. I'd like to see a few more cars there. There's a few more people there. There's quite a few spectators there as well, which was good. Talking about Mick was on the show. Mick Apps was on the show there a couple of weeks ago and announced on my show that that afternoon he had got official word through and signed the paperwork that he was taking over Springmount Raceway, the lease of Springmount, the operation of Springmount Raceway up in North Queensland, which is pretty cool. It's a big undertaking for him and the family. It will mean that Mick and family will have to move up there. I mean, that's how committed he is, and he's all in. Him and Jane are all in. So if you jump on the Springmount Raceway Facebook page for all the updates and that, he's put up a couple of posts this week explaining some details. Lots of people want to know details and this and that. Just this afternoon, he put up all the classes. I mean, some people will get a bit antsy and but give it a crack. Give it a crack. The writing's on the board basically for that place. If Mick and Jane can't make it work after a few communities and management teams have had a crack, if they can't make it work, it's probably the last chance for it. I'll be honest with you. That's what the feedback was through that I was told from the owners and that they tried to make it work. with various groups, and it just hasn't worked. So Mick and Jane, I wish you all the best. It's going to be fantastic. A few things there, like they're going to 8 mile racing. They are using races as their sanctioning. So, you know, there's a bit of feedback there. Everyone's entitled to opinion, but some get a bit carried away. But anyway, that's what it is. That's life. But Mick and Jane are having a crack. So I wish them all the best. So that's, but get on the Facebook page. Honestly, there's a lot of good, engagement there. A lot of people are interested, want to know. There's a lot of people that are starved for action up there and want to see things happen. So support wherever you can. Dates were announced. Calendar was announced. Mick did comment that there is some room for movement there because there was a clash on a couple of items. But I mean, that's the risk of putting out a calendar, and they'll do what they can to make it happen. So all the best to everyone there. Nitro on the Downs, we spoke to Matty Loy on the last show there, and how good was that? If you sat there and watched it, I couldn't make it down there. Unfortunately, I had to make the decision in the week leading up to it that I couldn't make the event, but it looked like an absolute cracker. And the reason I know that is because the Overtaken lane looked after the live stream, and it was fantastic to watch. Mick Kurtz, good to have you on, mate. Thank you. But it was awesome to watch. It looked like a very good show, really good feedback, good crowd. The Outlaw Nitro cars ran really well again. Morris McMillan putting the Nitro Express into the 530s on a regional track is good. It's really good. It's really nice to watch. So there was some good racing, some tough racing right the way through the ranks. So well done to Warwick Drag Road, Matty Jungaloy and all the team, all the Loy family, and that. He did a fantastic job. Mildura was the other event that was on the calendar on everyone's radar. NDRC took fuel cars and the sportsman races to Mildura, and unfortunately, didn't they cop it? We've seen a couple of, well, don't forget the first event, big event for Willowbank only a month or so ago was absolutely rained out with like I described, the mini cyclone because I was there. It was pretty wild, and Mildura got absolutely smashed on the weekend before they could run their event. So, unfortunately, it looked like a couple of the top field teams were starting to get on top of the conditions there, and it looked like what was going to be a good show. Mother Nature got us again. So let's hope Mother Nature's getting it out of her system early in the year for everyone. And we didn't see some more events coming on, so no more affected there. My next event on the microphone is a return to Rocky Nats. So in Rockhampton, which is an hour and a half north of me, they started the Rocky Nats event. This will be the 6th edition of it. I've done 4. I did 4. One I missed because I had the dreaded C, the big COVID, leading up to the week of, so I had to pull out at the last minute. But I did the others. With my retirement last year, I didn't do that one. So I hit them up. I sent them an email. I said, "Look, I'm doing announcing again, and I am available." And they said, "Yeah, great. We'll have you back on the team. It'd be great." So I'm looking forward to that. Rocky Nats. So about middle of April, a little bit quiet this time of year. Actually, I did have a planned holiday with Jody. My fiance, we as some people might know, we're into Volkswagens, and we've got a Combi, and there's a big Combi event every year called Bus Stop. We were due to go to that at the end of this month in Tamworth. So it was a fair hike, but we sort of gave ourselves like a week or so down, and 3 or 4 days there and back. And unfortunately, Jody's got some surgery that needs attending to. That we'll have to. That comes first. That's got to come first. So the surgeon rang her a couple of weeks ago. So we got a slot for you on the 31st, and that was the day we were due to leave to go to Tamworth. So we can't do that. But anyway, hey, health first, so we got to look after that. There we go. Dave Hunter, good to have you on, buddy. Right on shore. We're looking forward to Rocky, mate. Looking forward to catching up. It's been too long since we've caught up, Ronnie. So that's for sure. Yeah. The other thing I want to mention, I'm going to bring this up. The Drop Bears shootout is in May 16th at Palmyra in Mackay. And as I said, I've said it before, guys. I'll say it again. I need you guys to support this great group of guys, the Drop Bear Motorsports team. They've gone out on a limb and decided to put an event on. And they got some good prize money on offer. Heads Up Pro Tree 8th mile race in 5 classes, 2 shootouts per class. So you got 8th mile, 6.0, 650, 7.0, 750, and 8.0. There's like I said, some good prize money on board. I need you guys to support this event, please. If you can get up to Palmyra, or if you're in the area, I need you to be there for that. So it really will be a cool event. And these boys know how to have some fun. So I'm really looking forward to that. But I need you to get those entries in. As drag racers, we're all a little bit slack, aren't we? Sometimes every promoter you talk to says that drag racers are slow to get their entries in and drag their feet a little bit. I mean, and I've had, obviously there's always some people that are preparing cars or hoping to have a car ready by then or whatever, holding off. I had a message during the week that somebody locally to me here was hoping to be there. So depending on if they can finish their car in the next couple of weeks. So anyway, it's all good. I need you, but like I said, if I can get you to support that event and any of the events that tracks and promoters put on, it's all part of the game. You got to support those that support them on, that put these events on. Otherwise, they just won't happen. And they go out and all in to do it. So once again, Saturday, May 16th, Palmyra. So 8th mile Pro Tree, Heads Up. Going to be a lot of fun. Going to be heaps of fun. All right, that's about it. That's about all my ramble. I've done a couple of trials with our guests earlier to make sure everything linked up. We might try and get our guests on now a little bit earlier than I said. Actually, maybe I punched through that a bit too quick, but that's all right. Bear with me. Let's send out a link. All right, sending a link out to my first guest tonight, guys. Give me some feedback too. Give me some feedback. I get a few messages from time to time. Try and talk to this. Try and get this person on. Try and get that person on. Give me some feedback. Like I said, I've got a bit of a hit list. When I decided to start coming back, I started to develop a bit of a hit list of people I'd like to get on the show. And I can tell you, these guys are right up near the top of my list. And it took me a little. I got a couple of guys, guests out of the system just leading up to events and that. But guys, good friends of mine, and great to have these people on board. And thanks for their time tonight. We'll bring them on. Gareth and Brody Davies.
How you going, buddy?
Guys, how are we?
Good yourself, mate?
Mate, you didn't put a capital B on Broads. We were just having a ribbon before. It's got problems. Hey, guys, thanks for your time tonight. Like I said, I've been wanting to get you on because, I consider you guys good friends of mine, and I try to catch up with you whenever I'm down there. I haven't been down there for a while. I'm due a trip, I reckon.
You've been slack, mate.
Life gets in the way, and then I move north further, mate. So everything's harder from here, but that's my excuse anyway. I've got to get my shit together, basically. Yeah, no, like I said, good to have you guys on. Actually, Mark Hitchell commented before, one of the best families in the sport, and I agree, guys. Just a great group of people, and it's an honour to call you friends.
Thank you, buddy. Same to you.
Yeah,
cool.
Good circle.
It is, mate. It is. All right, so let's get into it. I've done a bit of a stalk today. I know a fair bit about you guys, but I did a little bit of a stalk today through Facebook and that sort of stuff, and come up with a bit of a timeline. But my show's about the story. I want to know the story, how people got involved in the sport and that. So, give me a bit of an insight. Well, probably Gareth more, because the other fellow beside you would have been too young when you got started. But how you get into drag racing, mate? How did that happen?
Mate, it's just like anyone, like 35, 40 years ago, when you first get your license, we're out street racing, 3-4 nights a week, and there wasn't really a drag strip back then and then so it was always street racing, and then they open a racetrack, and everyone just kind of, it becomes about time slips then. So everyone can race on the street and you can beat people or get beaten by people, but it's all about the time slip then, and that magical time slip just becomes an addiction. That's what drag racing is really.
It really is an addiction. Like anyone that's involved, get the same question from people. Go, why do you do it? Is there money in it? And do you win? It's like, no. And I always joke, we actually spend more money to spend less time on track.
100%.
Because we go faster. Oh, you're right.
Yeah, mate.
It's like someone stopped his them.
Yeah, so we're a strange breed, aren't we? But as long as we all share the same disease and stick together, we're good.
Well, there is a bit of a theory in making a small fortune out of drag racing. You start with a large one.
Start with the large one. That's exactly right. Now, what sort of cars do we have, Gareth?
What sort of cars?
Yeah.
Oh, mate, we've well, I've always been diehard Holden.
Yep.
Michelle come from and she always was diehard Ford.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, her and the whole family were always Ford, and we were always Holden, and we always won the battle, and we converted her to Holdens rather than us going over to Fords, and
Yep.
yeah, always. So we've had from Commodores, EJ, HKTGs. God, had a bucket load of them over the years, Monaros, and I chopped up a Warwick Yellow HK Monaro back in the day and make custom dash and mini tubs and roll cage and all the shit in it. And the problem was they weren't worth what they're worth now. And if we knew what we knew now, you wouldn't touch it. And I actually sold it to one of the security guards at the Summer Nats. Home,
really?
Pulled the motor and gearbox out of it, sold it to him as a roller, and you never look back. And then 15 years later, you're like, shit, I should have kept that one. But yeah, we just always been Holdens, like Tiranas. Yeah, God, I can't even.
What about your Flintstones car back in the day?
Oh, yeah, that one.
Here we go. Here's the story.
Back in his day.
Back in the day. Still had stone wheels, mate. Mate,
Yeah.
like you said, I remember mates of mine used to, you'd go and buy a HK or a HG or something for $300 or $400, and they used to put a cage in it and run the local demolition derby at the show at Bow Desert, near where I used to live. That's what you did back in the day. And think about those things are worth there.
Even think of the HQ racing, back in the day, every weekend they'd be smashing and crashing them, and they had to stop doing it because they were classic and becoming that expensive. They couldn't keep up with the parts. Everyone was running out of them.
Well, it was a pain in the ass because I had HQ Monaro when I was a young tacker, like 18, 19, and if you HQ racing was really taken off, and it was hard to find bits because they were stockpiling parts and that when they could find them.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. It's funny how it's happened. Now we're talking about Tiranas. So a lot of people that know the Davies family, know that you had a series of Tiranas, and that I stole this picture from your Facebook page. Have a go at all those combos.
Yeah, well, it's funny because there's two cars there, but for years and years, everyone thought it was the same car. But yeah, we had the the top two there. Well, actually, there's literally three of each. So the blue and orange, the silver and blue, and the black and yellow is all the same car, and then the other three was a full street, like pro street, genuine rails, all the stuff, like mini tubs and that in the back, and then the other car was a full chassis left-hand drive car. So everyone used to think it was the same car, but we definitely had the two of them.
Different cars.
Yeah.
So maybe like the Flames, obviously.
Yeah, always. I don't know. I used to always say they don't date, and God, I've flamed, between cars and bikes, probably 50 different builds over the years, and I always used to think they'd never date, but I look back now and think, they've dated. So I don't think I'd flame something now, but
You wouldn't flame something now?
No. Back in the day, I used to love them, but I certainly think it's definitely had its day now.
Had its day. And just decided to make changes and freshen them up from time to time, a different look? Or?
No, to be honest, unfortunately, every time we ever changed a car, it was because it had an encounter with a wall or, an accident of some description. And I always had that theory. If I'm going to go to the effort of repairing and, painting the car, I'm not going to go to all that effort and have it looking the same. So,
yep.
When it was blue and orange, we actually had an accident in the trailer. And
oh, really?
Yeah, so that was a trailer accident while it was strapped in. And, damaged the front, needed rails, everything. That was a real big one. And then that became blue and silver. Even when it was pink and white, Michelle exit stage left into the wall, and then it became the black and grey, and then she rubbed that along the right wall, and then it became grey and white. And just every time we've ever had any incidents or needed significant repairs or paint work, it's just always been the case that same as when she put the pink one into the wall. Now we painted it white and put him in it. It's one of them. We've never come back from an accident with it looking the same.
So, I mean, you've obviously got a background. I mean, I know you do cars and bikes and all sorts of stuff, mate. You love tinkering with that sort of stuff? Yeah,
I do actually. Still found the new love for it. Like kind of, you go off anything over the years and, like you do, and had a bit of a break from it, I suppose. We unveiled a new car or bike every year for 20-something years at Motorexes and Summernats non-stop. And then I kind of had a 4 or 5 year break from it. And now with Brody, we started the business and we're doing that. And, he's excelling in so many ways and teaching me more than I'm ever kind of teaching him now. And I'm the apprentice these days. And it's, it's just... found the new love for it, and we're back into it, and balls deep, and doing it all day, every day.
Obviously, mate. And I mean, I'll take it like you said. I saw you up there a few months ago, up north of us here, up at Canberra, and there was a car there. I won't say too much about it. A good mate, a mutual mate of ours, who's a very good spray painter, painted for you. But looking at the work on that sort of stuff, young Brody, you were saying that most of that. It's impressive, mate.
That was his baby, mate. That's him through and through, start to finish. That car. I didn't touch that car. I mean, odd little bit here and there, but that's basically when we started the business, and we were given a really good opportunity by a good mate that to build that car, and gave Brody free rein, and it was his opportunity to come out and show people what he can do and what he loves doing and what he's good at, and that's as you know, it's been painted now by our good mate up there, Sean, and the car's going together as we speak, and it'll be out for everyone to see very soon.
Yeah, awesome, man. Very impressive. I've been doing a bit of welding in the shed the last couple of days, and I can tell you my flapper disc skills are the next level.
Pterodactyl welding.
But if I ever got a flapper disc handy, I'm in trouble.
Don't worry, he uses one every day too.
That's it. Very good. Now, Brody, I mean, let's have a quick chat. I mean, I know you used to run junior dragster, mate. How did you get into that? What age did you get into juniors?
So I would have been 12. It was
12.
Mum and Dad bought it for my 12th birthday.
No, you were C.
Might have been 10.
Yeah.
Maybe my 10th birthday.
There you go. You're that old, you forgot already, mate.
Yeah, it goes quick, man. But got that for my birthday, and the junior parents started, so that we didn't even know how to start. They bought it for me, and we were trying to start it on the night or whatever. But started from there. Had my first car, and then we upgraded that car and got another one, which was a proper half scale, and that was flamed. Blue and grey.
They both were.
Yeah, they were both flamed.
There you go. Flames.
Yeah, and then so went through junior racing, which was good. Made a lot of friends, and you kind of find your group, and it was good. And then got out of that too old, and then had my street car, HT Kingswood. So that started on my L's with a 6-cylinder, just cruiser, slammed it, hubbies on it, and then ended up with a small block Chev for me P's.
When he was cool.
Yeah. When I was cool. So that ended up going 12.0 flat, just like a crate engine, just cool cruising. And then I ended up chopping that up and putting a twin turbo LS in it.
When he went uncool.
Yeah. So yeah, Tim Server LS, and then yeah, it was on a 235 street tire and it went 10.5 at 150 mile an hour. So it was moving.
150.
Yeah, it was yeah.
Nice.
It went 2.1 to the 60 foot. That's how much it spun off the
true.
line. Yeah, so it was moving on the way home, but yeah, and then that car, I ended up selling that car, and I've got another streeter now that I'm working on, and which will be cooler again, and same engine combo, and then yeah, and then the racing kind of, we were done and out, and then we had the conversation, which we missed it too much, and we decided to go properly racing in the Mustang and brought that back.
So I'll jump the queue there a little bit because I got my timeline there. So, I mean, the last of those Tiranas was the 10.5 one, Gareth. And then we saw an announcement that you were retiring the car from 10.5 and the Tirana and that you bought a new car. So by my calculations, like the end of 2016. So what prompted you to make the move there?
Honestly, it was purely a safety decision.
Okay.
Burnsy sat down with us, and Craig's always been involved with our race program from day one. Always done, and still helps us out with our cars, and gets everything sorted on the car for us. We do all the welding and all the stuff like that, but yeah, Craig's does all the setup and all that type of thing on the car. And he sat me down and actually said, "Mate, I have to have this conversation with you." And and it was with us and Danny at the time, and we were both pushing the boundaries in the cars we had and the speeds and the times we were running. And he said, "Mate, we have to really think about how this car is going to crash in the unfortunate, event that it does." So we went and bought the Mustang. And when we bought the Mustang, we were dumbing it down from what it was. We bought it as a Doorslammer, and we were bringing it back and putting 10. We had no intention whatsoever of running Doorslammer. Okay. It was never the plan. We were purely turning it into a 10.5 car and running it as a 10.5 car. And the rules back in the day was, about the pro street, and then it kind of all went away and everyone was running full chassis cars and carbon bodies. And we thought, well, we may as well go and do that and do it a lot safer. And that in the process of us buying the car and building that car and turning it into what it was, basically the APSA kind of folded and 10.5 was falling apart. And then Paul, that we've always raced with and has always helped us, was actually going Doorslammer racing. They were stepping up from 10.5 car to Slammer, and Spinozzis were doing the same and going Slammer racing, and we just all kind of progressed at the same time.
A lot of people, Jeremy Callahan,
everyone. We all just kind of thought, and we went, well, we've got the same motor, same everything. Literally, we got rid of the blower, put a PSI on it, put the big tyres on it, and went out and started running Slammer.
So, the Tirana had gone 630, 640s or something?
638. Yeah, 638, 221, yeah.
And like you said, it was on the limit for what it was.
Yeah, look, and it sounds respectfully, she was a crazy driver. And she wouldn't have had the success that she had in that car if she didn't drive it like she did. And, so many people even said over the years, half of the runs that she got away with and, she drove the arse out of that car was, a lot of people would have lifted. But, when you lift, and you wouldn't have had the success that she had. And, the thing was wild, and she drove, but she was one with that car. Yeah. And, and that she did tag the wall a few times and she had her incidents in it. But, when you're setting boundaries and, you're pushing the boundaries, and that it's just part of the sport, that old saying that, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. And, we had a couple of incidents in it, and she said to us for years, even when we were racing the Mustang, she said, put me back in the Tirana. But if I had $1 for every time she ever said to me, put me back in the Tirana, we could have funded the racing. But she loved it, that car. She absolutely loved it.
Yeah. All right, so we talk about the Mustang. I dug a few photos out. Here's the one from Drag Photos. There she is. There's the shell at the wheel of the Mustang. So it's about 2017, I think I had a look here. So, she was straight into it. It looked like it went low sixes, pretty much straight up.
Mate, to be honest, she she went 6-0 in that car on debut, first meeting, won the meeting, gold Christmas tree. We were like, holy shit, man, this thing's easy to go, like Doorslammer racing. This is like, and it was funny because she took to it like a duck to water. She drove it like she'd been driving it forever and everything worked. And, mate, following that, there was, and I'm not even exaggerating, I think there was like 46, 47, whatever it was, high 40s, 6-0 passes to follow for like 2 years. 2 years that car was we could have sold 6-0 passes like they were going out of fashion. And it took us 2 years of running 6-0s to get that car to run a 5. Like it was absolutely incredible. The very first pass she ever done in the car went like 6-0, and then we went 3 more that meeting, and she won on a hole shot 6-0 against a 590 in the final. You know, she won a gold tree in the Tirana. She won one in that on debut, and mate, from that day forward, it tortured us in every single possible way. Yeah.
Mate, you hear that often, don't you? I mean, like you sort of get close to a milestone and it just takes forever. I mean, I remember even back with Victor. I mean, Victor went 601, 6 flat, 602, 6, but like 100, like heaps of it before he ran that first 5, you know. Once he ran that 5, it was like the gate was open. But it's funny how those little milestones just eat away at us.
Mate, we had the similar. I can't remember who it was. Like one of the interviews we done, we're running in Sydney, and like she pedalled the car twice, and it went like 598 or something at one of the events, only a couple of months after the first. And like, and I said, mate, like, you know, to be able to progress to the point where, you know, she can have a couple of stabs and still go a 5 from, you know, driving the thing to the finish line and like willing it on, and couldn't run a 5, and then. It's so true. Once you run one, they just seem to keep following. Like it was, yeah.
Just going to comment there, mate. It's a good friend of mine, very good friend of mine, Nicole Beckham. She's a big Shell fan. She said she was inspirational to watch her drive the Tirana. So, and I know Cole's a massive fan of Shell. So there you go. And I stole this too, because to me she's still the queen of Slammer, mate. 100%.
Oh, look, you know what? I mean, it was. You know, like Cat Stevens was out there doing it, and you know, and we come like with Michelle and then doing that, and even now what Lisa's doing for the class and in the sport, like it's awesome to see. Like it really is, you know. But I mean, from our perspective, you know, it was, and again, I can't even remember someone. I think it might have even been Rob Oberg back in the day, like, you know, called her the Queen of Slammer, like, you know, like on TV and whatever, and it just kind of stuck, and yeah. Like, and we still cop that. We still get a lot of comments, even people at the racetrack coming up and, you know, telling her that she'll always be the queen. And, you know, and we've always tried we've never been the fastest out there, but we've always tried to present and represent us and everyone around us the best we can. And, you know, I've always said if we can't be the fastest, we'll try and be the best looking out there. But,
yeah, awesome, man. And it has been, always has been. Always put on a fantastic show, and presentation's a big thing. Let's touch on it briefly, and of course, then started running some real numbers, some really impressive numbers. The car started to dip into the 570s, and then, you know, amongst it. I mean, 570s was amongst it, definitely at the time. And then the unfortunate incident, mate, which, you know, everyone was there to watch. I was watching live at the time, and you know, how much did that knock everything around? Like, I mean, when there's a heart and soul into it, when something like that happens, it's got to be devastating.
Oh, look, I mean, I actually don't know how I don't know how you answer that in words, and I really don't. And still, 3 years later, we still get asked the same question. And to be honest, I don't think anyone from, you know, and I say to people, like, you know, people question me and say, oh, mate, to stand there and watch your wife crash like that. And I say, mate, my boys were standing there watching their mum crash like that, you know. Her mum watches her daughter crash like that. You know, people watch, you know, their biggest fan crash like that. Other racers watch a fellow racer crash. Like, it's not, it impacted and affected everybody. Like it really did.
Yeah.
Like it was like, yeah, it sent ripples. And, you know, we talk about it now, the outpouring, and I mean worldwide, like still, mate, even like, you know, years on, even when we announced that we were going to come back, mate, the offers and the help and, you know, just the whole racing community. I mean, and we were, like you touched on it there, the last I think it was 7. The previous 7 passes that the car went all ran mid-70s.
Yep.
Like we weren't trying to go any faster. We weren't, like stepping it up, and we weren't, trying to push them. I mean, we had a hidden goal, and, it wasn't, I mean, now we can say it. Back then, everyone used to say, what's the plan? What are you trying to do with the car? And commentators would always ask you up to an event for a TV show.
Bloody commentators.
Yeah, and they would say, oh, what's your plan this weekend? And we used to joke and just say, mate, to go home safe, shiny side up. It was our default answer. But, behind closed doors, we always wanted to run a 70 flat. At the time, Melanie Salemi was the fastest, kind of female, and and that was a 71 at the time, and we always thought, what, that's the benchmark. And for us, a little budget, small team that does everything themselves, in their back shed, if we can go out and do that, and have Michelle, and at the time, and I don't even know because that 10.5 class kind of died off worldwide, but she was the current fastest female to ever drive a 10.5 car, and we were just like, man, how cool. So that was behind closed doors. We always had that little hidden goal.
Yeah.
It never eventuated, and it was unfortunate, but she's still here with us, and that's the main thing.
100%.
And they say cars can be repaired, and we repaired it. It's a true statement. It is repaired. It's the same car. It's not much left of the original car, but it is the same car, and we're back doing it again.
Well, I mean, obviously the focus was on Shell and getting Shell right, and and we would have. I mean, a lot of people would have understood if that was the end of you guys, and in terms of racing and that, because I mean that's a massive impact. But at the same time, we were pretty excited when we started seeing photos of you. Well, you guys put posts up to say you started stripping the car after quite a bit of time, but started stripping the car and preparing it to come back.
Yeah, it was about 12 months, I think, 12 months after, we kind of, and we were forced into retirement. Yep. And look, I didn't want to stop, and Michelle didn't want to stop. I think it was the first week or two, she was like, I'm done. That's it, I'm out. And I said, no problem. I understand, it's a big thing. And the severity of the injury she had and the pain she was in, she had nerve blocks and everything put in, and mate, she was busted up. There's no pretty way to say it or whatever. She was busted up. And I think it was 2-3 weeks later, she's like, this isn't how my story ends. I'm not going out like that. I need to get back in and do this. And then we were with our circle around us, and with Paul, Ham, and everyone around us, we decided that instead of repairing that car in Bernsey, kind of said, look, it can be repaired, but the cost, time, whatever. Yeah. So we decided we were going to buy Steve Ham's Camaro. That's what we were doing, and I think 9 weeks in, spinal specialists had all the neck brace and all that removed and everything, and they're just like, no. Given your age, given the injuries, given that she actually broke the back of her skull out, where it rotates on, so the back of her skull was all fractured, and with her neck injuries, and it was just, they're like, no, if you have anything remotely close to that again, you'll be at best a quadriplegic, if not, dead. And unfortunately, Michelle deals with that. Her job she's always had is doing aged care and disability care, and she just believed that she didn't have the right to put herself and her family and everyone through that. And, for what we'd achieved, she was happy to just call it quits, and, the risk versus reward wasn't there. So, and understandably, the boys watching their mum go through that, not be able to walk, be in a wheelchair, and, that whole recovery process, and, which took months and months and months and months. And she still suffers daily today. She still has, she got off the mower today and the shoulder sore again. And it's just little things. She gets up and does what she's got to do every day. But, there are just ongoing things that will always be with her because of it. So they weren't keen to get in. And then, the No Prep Kings were coming to Australia. And then all of a sudden the phone was ringing and everyone wanted to buy engines and gearboxes and, trucks and trailers. And all of a sudden I was like, well, if you aren't going to do it, we'll sell everything. Yeah. So we sold everything. We were out, done. And then stupid us decided that we missed it too much and we need to rebuild and start from scratch. And here we are.
There we are. And okay, so now we move on to the fella beside you. did you put your hand up, mate, or like that's a big thing. Like I said, we just said. I mean, you've just watched your mum have a major, and then go through everything and that, and then next minute you're the driver.
Yeah.
How did that process happen?
It's crazy. Yeah. We were just. I think we were more bored, and like you know, you go to the track and you see everybody, but I don't know.
We're not good spectators.
Yeah. No, we're not, and. It's not even the adrenaline. It's more just the rush. You're busy. You got, you know what I mean? It's the addiction of it, really. Like and even on the weekends, usually we'd be in the shed working on the car, and we got the street cars and stuff, but we were just like, I'm not going fishing every weekend. Yeah, let's go back racing.
Yeah.
So that's when I sort of said, well, you know, the street cars and stuff, it's always interests me more. Not so much now. At the time, I was always like, because in the time, it's the old funny saying, you don't realize what you've got until it's gone.
Yeah,
so
100%.
Growing up around it, you're sort of immune to it. And then, you know, once you didn't have it, it's like, man, like, you know, I miss racing now. So sort of stepped away from the street cars and dedicated time into building the race car and rebuilding it. And yeah, and then hopping in for the first time was gobsmacking, to say the least. Yeah.
We'll get to that in a minute. I just want to pop up, so I'm going to pop up once again. I stole these from your page. Man, that thing's come up. Treat like it must be awesome to put your heart and soul into something and for it to come up that good.
Yeah, it's looking at that, honestly it is awesome. But to do it like Dad said, we do it in our back shed at home. Like we don't everything on that car we've done. So it's an immense amount of work into it. And to look at it like that, I mean, even before it was painted and we had just, you know, our black body on it and it was all fitted up, but nothing done, no wiring yet. And it was just like, man, this thing's going to look sick. Like same car, but it's got a new look. And yeah, that was our goal. We couldn't come back out looking the same, or, you know, we had to raise the bar again. So yeah.
And you guys' presentation's always second to none. We'll bring up the truck as well. How about the wrap on the truck? How good does that come up? Unbelievable.
Yeah.
No, it looks cool going down the. I mean, the biggest problem with that now, we've only driven it. We actually took it to Melbourne for Tough Streeters the other week. But yeah. I tell you, the biggest pain in the ass with it is, and you know, you can't really put shit on people that bad, but a lot of people are that busy looking at the car and they don't realise that them two lanes are becoming one and they're next to you, and you're trying to get across because they're that busy staring at that and not looking in front. It's a bit of a problem with that wrap on there now.
Certainly catches your attention. Now, so Brody, I mean, first passes in the car, how was that?
Oh, honestly, so like I was always nervous, but I always thought, and I told everybody, I said, I'm not really nervous for letting go of the button. I just want to get my burnout right. And I just don't want to go out there, over rev it like a dickhead or chirp the tires and drive through the tree. Like I just don't want to be a dickhead. Like I just want to go out and do it right. And anyway, first burnout, I gave it like 6 or 7 stabs before I settled into it. Like it was rough, but I was happy with it.
Yeah.
And just the crack of the throttle, like under load, like we've started it and I've gave it a few blips and stuff, and that's intimidating enough, like let alone in drive. And I think actually the first burnout, we had a brand new car. We had a air fitting let go, so we come back, and that was good, I think, because I got out of the car, like shook myself off. I was like, all right, sweet. Like at least I know now what I'm sort of feeling. So next burnout was a lot better. Back to back, got into stage, got it up on the chip, let go of the button, and just fell off the throttle. Like just the car took off, and I was still on the start line.
Yep.
So that's the best way to put it. I mean, there is nothing in this world that would describe the feeling. It doesn't make sense of how something can move along that fast. Like it was just mind blowing. I mean, the second one was better. Made it to just before 60 foot, and you know, you think what I was struggling with a little bit was I thought like it's going to be like that, like I'm going to be at 60 foot and then like, you know, get off it, because everything was brand new. So we wanted to check it at 60 foot. And I was like I started to realize, right, you've got more time than what you think it's going to be. So just slow down, and and then went out 60 foot, and it was awesome. And then went out, the car went just before half after 3:30, and I mean, it was launching, and it's still a little bit dumbed down, but I mean, you can't really dumb those cars down. That's the thing, and it sort of left and settled the nose, and it started driving like, man, you start to see stuff fly apart. It's hard to describe. Like, I wish more people could experience it. It's a crazy feeling. It's very addictive.
Just remind us how old you are, young fella.
24.
24. How about that for a 24-year-old? Good stuff.
Yeah.
Now, look, I saw, like we spoke about it earlier, I saw Gareth, I saw Dad not long after when I saw you at Rockhampton, and I can tell you Dad was pretty proud. And I found this photo. Look at that. There's a proud dad right there.
Yeah. That was after that half-track pass, which the car, it's same thing with these 6.0s. It kind of gave us a half-track pass, and then it's been teasing us ever since. We've had some, and it's like expected, so to speak. Brand new car. We've been trying to learn the setup. Even me driving it. We've had a few launches where it's picked the front up where I couldn't see, so we've had to abort, and just sorting out weights, and it's all new for us and different. Even though it's the same car, a lot of stuff's changed as well, and we've upgraded, and yeah, it's hard to say it's the same car to set up.
Well, mate, watching from afar, like I said, I haven't been there, but watching from afar, and I can tell you, I've spoken to a few other people, and everyone's pretty impressed with what you're doing so far, man. So you're doing a cracking job.
Yeah, it's been good. Even like people, like last meeting that we're at, I had Michael Marriott come up to me, and he's like, dude, he goes, you are killing it. He goes, don't be bummed out that it's not working for you. He goes, because everybody can drive a race car straight. He goes, be proud of yourself that you're lifting at the right time, you're keeping it shiny side up. He goes, like, you're doing real. And just to hear sort of that from people that, are high up, even though I've got my mum, and she's done it, but just to hear it from other people and people that you look up to in the sport that have done crazy amounts of work in the sport. And yeah, it's just refreshing to sort of, hear the right things.
Good stuff. Next hit out, I spoke to Dad the other day, and he was saying that the rain's knocked us around a couple of times when you were planning on going out, but hopefully again soon, another hit.
Yeah, so hopefully on the 14th. So that's the next one coming up, pending weather again. Hopefully we're all clear to run that one. Go out again and hopefully keep the nose down. We've moved some weights around. The last one on the last meeting, the car was looking a lot better. It was probably more me just getting off it, a bit of muscle memory after having a few launches, and yeah. So hopefully now we should start to go in the right direction. So.
It'll come, mate. You got some good people around. You got good family there. You got good people, Paul, as you said, and that helping out. It's coming. It's coming.
Yeah,
It's going to come for sure.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, and that's another thing. Like the people around us that help, I couldn't be more thankful. Like Shags, you've been around our team. We barbecue. We just have fun. We're not a big dollar team. We just cruise around with our friends, and that's what makes it worth it really for us, and
100%.
All the help that we get we're thankful for, and it's good.
Well, I just want to shout out this because it was a big thing to come back. We all love and miss Shell on the track, but we understand that that can't happen again. But hey, we got the sidekick here doing a fantastic job, and we wish you all the best, and we'll watch. We'll support you all the way.
Thank you.
Appreciate it, mate.
All right, guys. Thanks very much for your time. Say hello to Shell for me. Like I said, I will have to get my shit together and come down and see us. And I want to see you.
Definitely, yeah.
All right. Thanks for giving up your time tonight. Thanks for your story, and I love you, and I'll see you soon.
Thank you, buddy.
Right,
appreciate
mate.
it.
Speak to you soon.
Good on you. Thanks, Abe.
Bye, mate.
Awesome. Good stuff. Like I said, they're good people. Yeah, we wish them all the best, and we'll keep an eye on them because the young fella, he's doing a fantastic job so far. like I said, the reports coming back from a couple of people in the know is he's doing a wonderful job, and it's exciting. It's exciting to see new people coming through. It's exciting that we didn't lose the Davies team altogether. But I want to say a big shout out to those guys, and good stuff. Good stuff. All right. That was awesome. That was awesome. I'm really happy with that. All right, let's see if we can get my second guest on tonight. I kept him a little bit longer, but we were having a fantastic chat with Gareth and Brody there. And my second guest tonight, guys, is a guy that does it a lot in our scene, and he's doing a fantastic job all around. I can type his name wrong. We'll send him a link so he can get on. So if you're around the scene in South East Queensland, if you've been watching a lot of content on Facebook of late, even on YouTube, you will have seen some fantastic stuff from this guy. I'm going to get him on because look at this. It's like looking in a mirror. Adrian Brown. How are you, brother?
It is, mate. I'm brother from another mother, as they say.
I can't get my beard that long.
Yeah.
It sort of just starts going. Anyway, it's a problem.
Mate, this is 14 years, bro.
14
I know people who grow this in 14 days. It's heartbreaking. And it's longer than it looks, trust me.
It is?
Yeah, I'm talking about...
Good to have you on. Yeah, okay. I hear you. I'm with you. We're on the page. Mate, great to have you on. Like I said, I want to, not only races and people and that, I want to get people that do a lot for our sport. And, mate, you have, in the last, I'm going to say, 18 months or more, it's just the amount of stuff and the amount of effort you put into promoting everything going on in our sport, and that's next level. So that's why we want to get you on and give you a bit of a wrap, mate.
Thanks, mate. I appreciate that. And look, first and foremost, it's you guys that sparked the interest. You know what I mean? You, Diggles, all the other guys that have done this for years and have the love for the sport. And, I've always wanted to do something along these lines, but kind of fell into it, mate, and it's, like I said, it has picked up in the last 18 months, 2 years. And it's unreal. I'm loving it. I'm loving the journey. It's great fun.
Good stuff, mate. The amount of content you're putting out is full on. And I spoke to you earlier, and I spoke to you on the weekend because we've been catching up a little bit, which has been good. I always enjoy a catch up. But the amount of commitment you have to put in to do everything you do, and it's a lot, mate.
Well, look, mate, it's like anything, and the more you put in, the more you get back. And content creation, if that's what you want to call it, you got to keep it going. I'm super lucky at the moment. We're all super lucky to have the scene that we have at the moment, and I do get putting in the effort has allowed me to get to a hell of a lot more events, and with the help of people like Mick and Jane at Addictive Events and numerous other people that have embraced the what I'm trying to do, has really allowed me to step it up and get to a lot of events. In saying that, I'd love to get to a lot more, and I will get to a lot more, but unfortunately, it's this country's big, and it's not as easily transversable as some other countries are. Where we can just jump on a plane and be there and be back and here and there. So, look, it's growing, but yeah, more content to come, more events to go, and I want to branch out to more places in Australia. Unfortunately, once again, and like you commented before about overlapping events and stuff like that. That's one of our biggest problems. We'll have 3 great events, but they'll be 2,500 kilometers apart. So unfortunately, it's not easy for us to get to them all. And and I actually, because I was going to go to Power Cruise on the weekend. I was going to fly back Saturday night, and I was going to go to Lakeside on Sunday. But I'm like, I'm like, guaranteed I'll do that, and I won't get the flight. It'll be the last flight, and that'll screw me for Sunday. So I'd like to pull the trigger on a few more things, and I will. But, you know, in saying that, like I think I calculated at the start of the year, there was 22 events already.
Yeah.
And that's, you know, that's not even counting stuff that's just going to pop up. And most of that was, to be honest, was with Mick and Jane. So, you know, absolutely unreal with what's happening up there at Springmount. Like, I'm a Townsville boy originally, so I can't wait to get up there. I'm going to road trip the H up there later in the year with my mate Mitch. He'll bring his car up and we'll do the road trip up there. And I've got a couple of little bucket list items like cruising from Cairns to Port Douglas in the VH I've always wanted to do. So that's on the hit list. And then obviously, like, I got a lot of mates up there that I can either catch up with and, you know, call in and see on the way. And I'm actually like, I spent my later teenage years actually in Gladstone, so that's where my love of cars actually. Yeah. I spent from sort of grade 9 to 18, 19. Then I moved to the sunny coast. I actually moved back to Gladdy when I was like 25. So that's where we used to go down the waterfront there. Like, obviously it's cut off now. You used to be able to drive all the way down, and that was Thursday night fat laps, Friday night, Saturday night. Like, we'd go out to the levels and misbehave, and, you know, like, there was misbehaving all night. And my first run was actually at Benaraby. I had a HZ panel van, big 15-second flat, sort of manual pano. But, you know, it was fun times back then. And that's, you know, I often say, like, I wouldn't have mates if I wasn't in the car scene. Like, I don't know what kind of person I'd be if I wasn't involved in the car scene, to be honest.
Mate, I mean, that's how I sort of first, I guess, met you and got to know you. Is that, you know, good mates of mine and good mates of yours too. The boys at High Talk. And, you know, I started mixing with, you know, my mate Jess and the boys and Ash and all that. And Adrian was always there and you know, taking part in power cruise events and that sort of stuff. So you're always there, busy, mate, keeping busy. What made you decide I'm going to start filming some of this and sharing?
Well, honestly, like I'll go back. So the High Talk boys, like, we used to go out for the old, you know, mischievous days of Saturday nights back in the days where the Broadbeach, or was it Broadwater car park, and the antics that happened after that. And that's where I met the High Talk boys, actually, at Sumo's Pizza, which, you know, a lot of people know down around the Gold Coast. And they rocked up in a VN, in their VN, sick VN, and it was they were building putting an STA supercharger on it, and I had a STA supercharged VNSS, and Big Lewis, who ran Sumos, had a VL Walkinshaw mock-up with a STA, and we all become great fans because we had the biggest pieces of shit superchargers ever. And you know, and that's going on 21 years ago now. So I've known the boys before they opened the shop, and they opened the shop, and, you know, they were like, oh, we're building the shop, you know, come down and, you know, like, welcomed me. We played around with the VN, and basically I've never left. I've been a blister on their side since day dot, and they'll never get rid of me. But you know, I used to be a power cruise guy, and this is where the love for content probably come. Like, I would go to power cruise and I would, you know, you'd spend all your money to get ready for it. You'd go there, and back in the day, like, you would scour the internet on forums and socials and whatever else you had back then, and you'd find any little snippet of your car, and, you know, you'd spend weeks and weeks doing this, right? And then I'd wait for the power cruise DVD. Like, that was my thing, and I would never make it. I think I made it twice. I had a white VY SS Commodore with a little bit of gas, and I decided I was going to drift onto the main straight, and I used the gas, and my drift skills didn't work very well. I took out the water barrier.
Oh, really?
And and so I made the DVD. They actually rewound it and pushed it through again. So it was about 7 seconds of fame. And look, I was always like, I was so disappointed that you could spend that amount of time, you know, working on your car, getting it all
Yeah.
ready, that amount of money, all that sort of
Yeah.
stuff, and then get there and just find the limited amounts of snippets of your car. So I've had a YouTube channel since 2008, and I've put a little bit of stuff up here and there, but not a lot, you know. And then actually when the NPK boys, the Street Outlaw boys, come over, I hit that really hard because I was a late inductee into watching Street Outlaws, but I loved it. You know, I really, really got a game for it and loved the whole idea of it. So when they come over, I knew there was going to be an opening for the US market wanting to see it.
Yep.
So I did all the days at Brisbane, and I even went to Sydney. I was going to go to the other tracks as well, but obviously money just didn't pan out. And I got like crazy interest. I think I got like 1,000, 1,500 subs in like a week, a couple of weeks.
Nice.
So it just, I ballooned it, and I'd already had a love for it. Like I've always done little videos and little this and that. I love the fact that we have the ability to do it, you know?
Yep.
So that sort of pushed it. And then I'm like, you know what, there's something here. Like I've always been a bit of an eclectic kind of think out of the box kind of guy. I'm not someone who wants to go and do a 9-to-5 job. Like, So, I found a little opening, and I'm like, I have the ability to get to a lot of events. I already had, a pretty good friendship with a pretty good amount of people. You know, I had a little bit of a following with the car and all that sort of thing. So it was a natural progression, and I love the fact that I could get out there and I could cover events. And at the start, like I covered them, like I wanted to capture the entire event. Like, so if you were there, even in a car that you thought wasn't worthy of making a video, it was going to make the video.
Yep.
So you could find your car and you could watch it, but that's slowly progressed, and I just can't physically do that anymore, because some of the videos were like 2.5 hours long.
Exactly.
And people just aren't watching it, you know what I mean? And physically on me, like I think one of my videos was 900 clips, and I think it was like 6.5 hours worth of footage.
Yes.
So by the time you sit there, I do, like, people don't know, I do everything on my phone. So it's recorded on my phone. It's edited on my phone. It's uploaded on my phone, the whole lot. So, which once again is a testament to where we are in the world. Like, it's amazing. I got to watch it recently on a really good TV, because I've got pretty crappy, like 40-inch TVs. And I'm like, holy crap, like the quality that comes through that you can get on your phone these days. It's crazy. Yeah.
Well, I mean, when you talk about that, you look at Cletus.
Yep, 100%.
I mean, most of Cletus' stuff he does on a phone, Yeah.
And to be honest, I think people like it now. Like there's plenty of people out there that still like high production, cool, flashy style, like hit pump, kind of promo video style capture. But there's a lot of people that just want to build a relationship with what they're watching. And I get it all the time. It's kind of weird, like I'm only a very small channel, really. But to see the growth of it and to feel the love, and, and sometimes you'd get the same, man. Like some people come up and they're so friendly, and because they're traveling along with your journey, they feel like they're part of your family or your inner circle. And, like I'm a big guy, and when people see me in my element, I'm pretty outgoing and stuff like that. But 90% of the time, I'm very introverted. Like, so it's a learning lesson for how it's interesting. You know what I mean? Like it's fun it's good to see.
It is, man. And like I said, I mean, we're the same in that we're both passionate about what we do, and I think that shows, and then people appreciate that. So, I mean, like I said, mate, I wanted to get you on so that I could highlight what you do. I'm going to bring up. I pitched a screenshot. There's your page, mate. The page, Car Culture. How do you say that? 10.
It's actually, so This one, it's 1naughty SS. So that was actually the number. It's my number plate for my VNSS. So, and I've still got those ones. And then obviously I'm a 78 model, so you chuck 78 on the end there. So that's the actual original name of my channel, is just, as you can see, 10ESS78. So bit of a funny story with that. When I went and picked those plates up, or when I registered the car, the lady at transport, she's like, "Tennis? You don't look like you play tennis." And I'm like, "Oh, thank you."
That's funny, isn't it?
Yeah. It's like, yeah, thank you. I like to claim I was a star at plenty of things, but tennis is not one of them.
Star. Yes. So guys, get on.
That's exactly, that's the page. I'd like, I'd love for people to jump over and support it. Subscribe, do all that sort of stuff. Like you said, I put out a lot of content. Try and keep my finger on the pulse in the especially in the SEQ scene at the moment, and definitely want to branch out and get a lot more. Like I've already met a lot of people. We did Qld last year down at the Bend, and obviously Summer Nats this year, and going to go back down to Qd at the Bend this year. And I want to actually, we want to do some road trips and shoot down to Sydney and get booted from there, and a couple of little things like that. So, as you know, I drive the H a lot, and I plan on doing a hell of a lot more of that. So if people want to jump over and enjoy the journey, I'd much appreciate the extra support. It's good.
100%, mate, and I hope they do. I hope I can help a little bit, push a couple over there to help you out. But, mate, like I said, it's good to get some support for showing your passion and doing it.
100%, man. And like I said, this is my passions come from people like yourself and Diggles and all. You guys are always with the props with other people, but man, the wealth of knowledge that you guys have and the passion that you guys have is, truly outstanding. Like, I'm fairly new to the drag racing scene.
Yep.
I was a power cruise guy, and I'm a street guy and stuff like that. And now, I'm an experienced guy when it comes down to it. Like, I want to be involved in the racing, and I want to be involved in the sport, and I want to be involved in the adventure. And that's where, I can't sit on the sidelines and just watch all the time. That's why my channel is, sometimes it's me involved, sometimes it's me just capturing the moment because the car's broken or something like that. So, but yeah, but it's all about the experience for me. It's about the love of the game and meeting good people and the scene. Like I said, man, the scene here at the moment, I've never seen anything like it. I really haven't.
It's so busy, and that's what I said to you. I don't know how you get to them all, but you do a fantastic job. But there's so much going on, isn't there? Which is, exciting, really.
It's so good. It's crazy. And look, it's, people get caught up and they're like, "Oh, this event's not that busy," and this. And I keep telling people, I'm like, you don't want all the events to be sellouts.
No.
Because you want to allow people that don't quite have the confidence to go and, race or be involved in an event when it's full on. Some people have got to be able to step in at a little easier rate. So, I'm all about getting out there and, that's part of what the channel has evolved into, is I want to inspire people to get your bloody car out and enjoy it, no matter at what level it is. Because I got a lot of mates that are just, they got, I'm at the other end of the spectrum. I just do what I can to get back out and enjoy the car. A lot of people want to build this thing that's going to go and decimate all.
Yeah.
And unless you got a wild budget or you're some sort of guru, you're not going to do it.
No.
And if you do it, you're going to do it for a very short period of time, and someone's going to come and take your spot. So just get out and enjoy them. That's all. My number one thing is just get out and enjoy it. Mitch, my mate with the wagon, he's been doing upgrades, finally got it back to, or not finally, literally did a lot of work in a month. And we went and got some fish and chips yesterday afternoon, and the smile on his face
awesome.
and the smile on my face, because I'm missing the H at the moment. It's been off the road for a few weeks. And as soon as we're in those cars, we're back in, we're 18 again and we're free. And it's, it's life's good. No matter what we're doing, life's good.
You're right, man. And if we can encourage more people to, like, you don't need, like you said, you don't need a top shelf. Like a lot of people, I don't know. I've seen, if I'm honest, I've seen a bit of a drop off in drag racing in terms of the lower classes. When I say lower classes, the more budget conscious car. And I don't know how we encourage it, but I'd like to think that we're helping, like your channel and content, that anybody can get out there and have a go and enjoy it, put a smile on your face and have a good time and meet good people, and just hopefully we can do a little bit.
I think that's what it's about, Shagga. I think if we remind people that without grassroots stuff, you don't have the guys that go to the next level. Look, like I bought an engine. Oh, actually, I didn't buy an engine. I went and looked at an engine when I lived in Bundaberg. The Tremaniac boys.
Yeah.
Like, they both had VNs or VPs like way back in the day. And they were ski racers or something, like, like they had cool cars just as an offside thing. And look where they are now. You know what I mean? But like, they had nice cars, don't get me wrong, but where you end up is not where you start. Like the amount of people I've seen come up in the 20 years of high talk, and they've started off with they're 16-year-old boys at Power Cruise, and they're little groms, they're like little surfer boys, like they're just little hanger-honorers, and then before you know it, they've got some of the toughest cars out there. So, get involved in it and find out. Like, I've had this discussion with mates. I'm like, especially guys that have been out of the scene for 10 years, 15 years. I'm like, you don't even know what you want now. You think you know what you want because you did what you did 15 years ago. Get in the car, drive it, do a few events, and then find what you're passionate about. Like, your passion will tell you which way to go, and it'll tell you real quick.
Yeah, no, you're right.
But also, like, don't, like a lot of people get carried away as well. Like the H used to be a pretty impressive, like, high end, never looked the greatest. It looked good in pictures, but, it made 1,230 horsepower or whatever as a street car. Like, it was a hell of a lot of fun. I lunched the engine. I don't have the money to pay, stupid amounts of money for another engine at the moment. So I took it way back, and people are like, you can't do that. What are you doing that for? Like, and I'm like, because bottom line, mate, I want to drive it. Like, driving my car is therapy to me. The longer I'm out, the more, like, I'm not really one who gets in my head, but I'll start getting in my head. And as soon as I drive that car again, everything washes away. So to me, I would rather, something that's fun and usable. And don't get me wrong, like the H has worked its way back into being something that's pretty cool again. Like, not anything on the level it was, but a very usable, very fun street car, and can perform, across the board, really. Like, it's pretty cool, especially with what I'm working with. It's still got the same turbo on it that it had with the big horsepower. It shouldn't really do what it does, but it does all right.
It does. You got good people around, mate, helping you out. So, mate,
that makes a big difference, mate, for sure.
Done it. And like you said, I spoke to you earlier. You were saying you've got people contacting you, asking you to do more stuff. So, that's how you feel the appreciation from people. So, which is good.
100%, mate. And so, like, sometimes it's good to have a break. When you stepped away for a while and had a break, it's good because you realise, like, you come back down, you go to an event, like, you can see the twinkle in your eye, like it starts to come back. And you, because, mate, sometimes this scene.
Look at these two clowns from the weekend. Look at those having a good old laugh.
Couple of good looking. That's what, mate. That's 100% what it's about right there. Like, I love it. Like, I love, smiling, getting out there, enjoying, tough cars, awesome tracks. Like, man, I took Lakeside for granted for a lot of years. Like, I remember going there many, many years ago. And to me, it was just like, oh, yeah. Now, like, you come up over that hill and you see that iconic view.
It's cool. Man.
And I'm like, how lucky are we, man? We nearly lost that track.
Yeah.
Like, how lucky are we? Like, just sit back sometimes and think about how lucky we are. Like, especially here in Queensland. Like, mate, you know, you talk to the boys down south and what they're going through at the moment. Obviously, with what's going on with Heathcote is awesome, you know, and there's a lot of other things in the works. But we all know, like, to get any of that stuff happening takes a long time, you know. Like I can't. But sometimes it makes me laugh. I had a guy comment the other day saying that we need a track in Toowoomba, like a drag strip. I'm like, mate, you've got 2 tracks within an hour from Toowoomba.
Yeah.
Like, I get it. Like, if someone wants to build it, awesome, do it. But like, he goes, oh, but that's, oh, so I said, you know, like, Warwick's 45 minutes away, mate. He's like, it's more like an hour. I'm like, mate, I drive an hour and a half to Willowbank, and I drive 3 hours to Warwick. Like, and happy to do it. Like, you know, I can't, like, I love all the tracks, but there's certain tracks, you know, like, you touch base on it all the time, mate. But what Junga's doing out there with their crew at Warwick, mate, I want to be out there all the time.
Yep.
I love it. I can't wait. I'm hoping to get out there. I hope the H is back and I can get out there on the 14th. So I want to do the track championship this year just for shits and giggles.
Yeah.
But providing we get the H back, you know, and then obviously we've got road trip later in the month. So can't wait for that. That's always a good time with addictive events.
Yeah.
And catch up with all the boys, and you know, the 3 days at Warwick. Like, last year was great fun doing the 3 tracks. But yeah, just sitting at Warwick and, you know, having a good time and having a little cruise out to a local pub.
Yeah.
That's a lot of fun as well. I must say too, like, if you thought about doing a drag and drive event, like, I used to be 100% a power cruise guy. Like, you know, now I'm probably drag and drives are my probably number one. Like, I think I've got 7 this year, 6 or 7 this year. Hopefully we can slot in drag challenge down in Victoria as well.
Yeah, we.
And yeah, I love them. Like,
they're a good
the
thing.
The memories you make with your mates.
Yep.
Like, some of the random stuff is just, I love it. I love it.
All right, mate. Like I said, mate, keep up the good work. Keep it, you know, keep the passion high. And hopefully we can get a few more people involved in the sport with what we're doing. Mate, always good to talk to you. We'll catch up again soon. We got, we'll catch up a few times this year and we'll have some good fun, I can tell you.
Hell yeah. And welcome back, mate. It's so good to have you
mate.
back on the mic. Like I said, I love it. You know, there's nothing better than hearing someone passionate on the mic and passionate with knowledge. And especially, you know, like, you got that local yokel sound to you. I love that as well. We don't want all these flash guys. You've got to have a bit of that Aussie twang in the voice.
This is what it is, mate. There's no show here.
I'm the same, mate. I hear my voice. I'm like, Jesus.
Yes.
No, I love your work, Shags. Thank you.
Good on you, mate. Thanks for coming on. We'll pop the channel up quickly again for those that are watching. There it is, Car Culture. Get on there and get over there. Follow his content. Get on his Facebook page. Just Adrian Brown, isn't it? The Facebook page.
Yeah, I've got a Car Culture one as well, but the primary one's sort of taken off more, so we just hit that for now. It's easier. I'm a wear my heart on the sleeve, kind of put yourself out there guy. So, you know, we'll just run it as that.
Good stuff.
It's
good on you, mate. I got to go because I got to go and do a boat. I got to leave in 10 minutes and go and do a ship. So.
Oh, you got to go to work.
I got to go to work now.
Go and play tugboat captain.
Good on you, mate. Talk to you soon.
Okay, mate. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks, man. Good stuff. That was a good night. Big shout out to Gareth and Brody Davies. Talk about Davies Racing and Doorslammer and their story. You know, that's what I want. I want to bring the stories. I want to, let you know the stories. Just look at a couple of the comments here. Shout out to Adrian for everything he's doing. He's doing a cracking job. Get over to his Facebook page. Just Adrian Brown. Like you said, most of the content's on there now, or there's links to his YouTube page. He's doing a really good job. He's putting together some real nice, real quality, real stuff. All right, like I said, I've actually got to leave in like 10 minutes to go and do a ship tonight. It's all good. It's all good. That's how we do it. Thanks for tuning in. If you tune in, I'll whack this on the YouTube channel. So with Facebook Live, I send this straight to Facebook Live on the Shagga Show Facebook page. You literally get 28 days now before they take it down. That's something Facebook started doing. So I will move it to the YouTube page, and if somebody can, if you haven't watched it, or they'll be, So anyway, I'm still trying to work all that out. All right, I reckon that was pretty good. Thanks for joining in. Thanks, Steve Dingemire. Good on you, mate. Thanks, Scooter. Adrian Brown. Yeah, thank you, mate. Happy days. Terry, mate, love it. Yep. Thanks, guys. That's it. Episode 48. I'm working on a couple of guests. I have reached out to a couple of people that will be in. We've got a bit of a timeline, and they've got a bit of a timeline as well. So we'll try and coincide it with some stuff that's happening. But I have got some guests lined up. I'm always happy to, if you've got any feedback, send me some feedback. If you've got any suggestions for guests, we'll do that as well. But I want people that are real. I want people that have got a story to tell. So support those that support, that have got the passion to keep this happening and make it happen. And there you go. All good. All right. Love is all. On that note, that is episode 48. Done and run. What else to say? Shagga out.